Happy Saturday, YouTube. I'm Udoka. Welcome to my channel where my videos typically are not edited and I talk about my mental health journey and whatever I want. And I want to talk about my mental health journey because this is the day that the Lord has made. Oh, I am getting IV ketamine treatment. I'm very excited. This has been a long time coming. I'm going to share with you my experience. I've only had 2 sessions so far. I'll share with you my experience, session 1, session 2. As I am driving to the African market to pick up some goods. Y'all ever listen to that Backyardigans song? But we don't know where we're going. I really want someone to just make the African remix because it just sounds like, but we don't know where we are going, oh Lord. Anyway, I want to share this IV ketamine treatment because it is actually not very accessible, at least in the southern United States. It's not very accessible, but it's been shown to be really effective. And also, oh my God, the bullshizzle I had to go through to get this treatment is mind-numbing. I've tried the route of oral ketamine, Spravato, dealing with insane medical assistance. I'm going to share that in a different video if people want to hear about it. But just know, if you're watching this video because you're wanting to hear about the experience of somebody who's getting the treatment, and you're wondering, why is it so hard for me to get treatment? It's not you. It's not you. You're actually going above and beyond. What drives me insane in this country is if you have mental health issues and you want to get treatment that actually works for you, you have to operate like somebody who is at the tip top of their mental game. Like, you have to operate like somebody who has found freaking enlightenment and peak productivity. It's like insane. And then they'll ask you, why did it take you so long to get treatment? Hello, you have a mental illness, you have a mental health issue, and you can't get anything done. Like, I just can't imagine if I had like dementia or psychosis. I would never be able to freaking get my hands on this treatment. That's a whole nother rant. But anyway, I don't want to make this too long because I can ramble and I don't edit my videos. But I will just say, if you're in Texas, if you're in the DFW area, I have encountered some ketamine clinics that are shady, and or they have staff people that are shady AF. So just check the reviews, do your research, okay? Don't be afraid to Google the Texas Medical Board, and if a clinic just seems kind of sketch, go ahead and find that the doctor that runs the clinic, find their NPI or whatever you call it. Yeah, find their practitioner ID and look it up on the medical board, and you can see, and you can just see, like it'll speak for itself. Anyway, I go to Texas Ketamine Specialists. Highly recommend them. They've been very professional, very sweet, very nice. They've been the nicest, like legitimately the sweetest, nicest people I've encountered when it comes to finding IV ketamine treatment here in North Texas. They hook you up to a blood pressure machine. It checks your blood pressure like every 5 minutes or so. They have your pulse going continuously. And experience with them has been really pleasant. So first and foremost, make sure you find a clinic that like is good. They check in on you like every 10 minutes. They're good. So let me share with you session 1. I did session 1 on Tuesday. And by the way, if you don't know what ketamine is or what it's for, or if you're familiar with it but you know about it because it's a tranquilizer, or you know about it because it's a street droga, yeah, if I say something weird or I say words weird, it's because I'm trying to not get demonetized. If you're like not understanding what do I mean using ketamine for depression, I can make another video on that as well. If you leave a comment and let me know that you're wanting to know. So my first session, there was a 30-minute evaluation. I was with a physician assistant, and he asked me questions like my history with depression, things like that. And just for your reference, so that you kind of get an idea of like what my needs are, because I don't want you to like take my experience and think that your experience will be exactly the same as mine, because everybody's traumas, are different. So basically I explained to him I have ADHD, wasn't diagnosed until, I was an adult, and I had depression, also wasn't diagnosed until I was an adult. But after I got that depression diagnosis, I realized that I've been depressed probably my whole life. So like the earliest age I can remember feeling depressed is like 10 years old. Apparently that's not normal. I didn't talk to him much about like the trauma. He just asked if there was a history of CA, child abuse. Again, I'm saying weird words. I'm saying the words weird so I don't get demonetized. And I said yes. He didn't like ask to dive deep, but like my childhood trauma, it was a very normalized type of CA. When I say normalized, it means like you know how like there was a time in the United States where it was normal to send your 7-year-old to go work in a factory, and like every day your child is risking losing their fingers and they work long hard hours, and they're beaten if they're if they're slacking on the job, stuff like that. That's normalized CA. Like that was accepted. That was culturally accepted. It was legal, and not only was it legal, but it was culturally accepted. And yeah, there were people who were like, I don't want that for my kids. I don't want that for my kids. I'm gonna, just work extra hard so my kids don't have to go through that. But there was no one, like, you're not trying to stop it. You're like, I don't want that for my kids, but you are not actively trying to stop it from happening to other people's kids. It's just a part of society. It's just like a necessary evil. That is what I call normalized CA. Where I don't know, like, I don't know how it affects you differently than like not normalized CA, where it's like everyone around you is like, oh my gosh, that's horrible, we have to stop it. Or like you as a child notice that you're being treated severely differently than what's normal. That hits you different. Like when you see and feel the pain I'm experiencing is not normal. It's not supposed to be that way. It hits you differently than the pain I'm experiencing is just a hard part of life. That's just how life is. Both are CA, but one is, I don't know. One is like harder to dig out. I hope you know what I mean. It's like harder because you have to you have to realize that you've been brainwashed to think that was okay. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's the kind of CA I experienced. It was somewhat normalized, and I don't know if that's the cause of my depression or not. I don't know if I was just born this way, or, you know, the CA caused it, or it's a mix of both. Honestly, yeah. No, actually, yeah. Pretty sure it's like, yeah. Anyway, so that's very different than like if you have PTSD, or like if there's like just it's an instance where you were like traumatized and that's what comes up for you. Like, so my depression is very different. I've been living with it like all my life. I've been living with it. So, and that's really it. Like, I have some anxiety that I feel is kind of comes from the depression and the ADHD. And it's just my body trying to like cope, I guess. So that's kind of that's where my head is at. I've tried EMDR, didn't do a damn thing for me. I've tried antidepressants. All antidepressants really did was just stave off severe depression, but they have never pulled me out of depression. Like, Wellbutrin maybe for like 1 or 2 weeks, and then it wasn't doing anything. So that's where I'm at. That's where my mind is at, okay? I'm also like not like life doesn't trigger me. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like I don't see something and get triggered. Like I don't have triggers that like come outside of life. I have, oh goodness, what do you do when a biker is in front of you on the road? And I hate that, like, by law they have to be on the road. I hate it because it's scary for them, it's scary for me. Anyway, so okay, I think I've sufficiently explained, I hope I've sufficiently explained my mental health situation. Okay, so the PA explains how ketamine works and all that, answers any questions, and then it's time for the session. They do the injection site on my wrist. It is kind of painful. Like, the next day my wrist is sore. What they do is they inject a numbing serum, and then they put in the needle. You kind of don't feel it because you have that numbing serum, and then once the K starts flowing, you're definitely not really, like, it's uncomfortable, but you're not really paying attention to it at all. Like, it doesn't really bother you. I'm on 50 milligrams, meaning, you know, the solution has 50 milligrams that's dripped into my body over the span of 30 to 60 minutes. I don't know how they choose how long. And they also inject some anti-nausea medication. So session 1, I did not have fun. It was so disorienting. It was like, what the hell is life? Is this what it feels like when you're old and you're just so confused? Like, I don't even know, like, what is up, what is down. And I don't like that feeling. It would be different if I was like sleeping or like knocked out, but I was very aware, very conscious, very awake, and I'm just like, I don't know, and I'm not that kind of person. Like, I do not enjoy feeling like so out of control of my body. I don't like that. I don't like feeling so out of control of my thoughts and how my brain processes. I don't like that at all. I don't like feeling cognitively slow. I don't like that. That's why I'm not like the marijuana. I don't partake because it makes me slow. That's not fun to me. Like, it's not fun for me that my brain takes extra long to process things. I do not like that at all. And it was just very like, mentally you just feel like the world is spinning. You don't know what the hell is going on. The body sensation felt very heavy. Like, it felt like 10 tons of bricks just fell on my body, and like I couldn't move because it's just so heavy. Like, it was just so heavy, and it was headache inducing as well. So I felt a ton of bricks, and then maybe 10 minutes later another one hit. I'm like, oh god. And then 10 minutes later another one hit. I'm like, oh my god. And I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna ramble, because my partner was with me. I decided I'm just gonna ramble until this is over. Because there's nothing enjoyable about this. At least let me just talk and have a conversation that's like, of course it was hilarious for him, because he's like, oh my gosh, what are you talking about? And I have a comfort video that I like to watch, like whenever I'm feeling, like whenever I just feel like, I don't know, whenever I'm feeling down or sad or anything. There's a couple of videos I like to watch, and one of them is Ethan and Gila, H3 Productions. They had a video where this guy from Europe, he really wants to be on the Ellen DeGeneres show. So what he does is he makes a fake set. He hires a fake Ellen. He like pretend, like he enacts like he is literally going on the Ellen DeGeneres show. And it's just funny. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, and you like silly stuff and making fun of dumb silly stuff, then check it out. I was trying to watch that. I couldn't watch it. I kept rewinding and pausing and talking, and I'm like, oh my god, when is this over? So after it was over, it took me 5 to 10 minutes for the heaviness to kind of lift a little bit, so I could get up out of the chair. And I held my partner's arm, and we kind of shuffled to the car. And then, like, while I'm in the car, it mostly just felt like I was drunk with a headache. I would stay in the car for a little bit longer, and then I'm like, okay, ready. I wouldn't say ready to go, but like, if I had work to do, I could do it. If I had to clean the house, or if I had to do things, I could do it. Okay, that's how I felt. Like that. How did my body intuitively know exactly where to turn? Woo! That same day, I was just like, I just had the headache. The headache continued the same day, and nothing was really different. The next day, I did feel subtle changes emotionally. I have this thing now. The other thing, you guys, is I was in a really crappy organization. And just the workplace environment, the culture was so toxic, and just so, it was just so bad. It was so bad, and it really drained life out of me. Like, the little life that I did have, because I was depressed as hell. I was depressed as hell, and that organization gave me a reason to not just be in bed forever. It gave me a purpose and a motivation when I really felt like life wasn't worth living. So being a part of, that toxic workplace, it gave me something to distract my mind to, like, I don't know what the point of living is, but at least let me compete in this competition or whatever. But then after I started just really focusing on my mental health, like, I'm not focusing on how much money can I make, how can I do this, how can I do that, let me get this, let me get that. And like, I got to the point where, like, year after year I kept failing at achieving certain goals, and I just decided I need to just 100% focus on my mental health. And that's when I realized this is a really toxic work environment and it's not conducive to my mental health. But it drained. So while I was like mentally awake to realize I need to get out of the situation, it was draining me to the point that I no longer, like, being around other human beings was like not acceptable for me. Like, I did not like going to events. I still kind of don't. I don't want to talk to people. Like, a stranger on the street, do not say hi to me, don't talk to me, don't perceive me. I'm invisible. Don't look at me, don't see me. I don't exist. Let me just freaking check my mail and continue to not exist in your mind. Like, I couldn't do it. And I had to be around this one man who he's just one of those type of men who, like, they have to talk. Like, they have to talk. They have to tell dad jokes. Like, they can't exist in a space and just shut up and just leave me alone. Like, and he kept trying to talk to me, and I'm like, oh my God, like, stop, like, leave me alone. And he kept asking me, do you not like me? I'm like, oh my God. The fact that you're asking me whether or not I like you is making me not, like, before I didn't care. Before, the only thing I cared was that you keep trying to talk to me when I clearly am not trying to talk. But the fact that you're so insecure that you're asking me if I'm quiet, the fact that you think my personality and my disposition has anything to do with you, now I don't like you. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent. Anyway. So the day after the first infusion, I noticed that, like, I was talking to somebody, and this person I'm talking to, she's just so sweet, and she's the kind of person who just blah, 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 like, she just talk, but she's like super sweet and, like, has, like, so much, like, you know, like, tidbits to share. So, like, prior to the ketamine, she would talk, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so sweet. I really wish I was not a bitch, so that I could, like, actually converse with you and talk to you and, like, ask you more questions. But as lovely as you are, I just don't want to be around human beings. But after the ketamine, she was talking, and I'm like talking back, and we're just conversing. And then, like, we got to a point, she was like, oh my gosh, I'm talking your ear off, I'm sorry, honey. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, we really have been talking for a while. Oh my God. Like, there was no feeling of, oh, I need to get out of here, I'm tired of talking. There was no feeling. Like, I was enjoying engaging with her. And I noticed that I would go out to the grocery store and stuff, and before I would go out to the grocery store and just be like, I don't want to see humans. But, like, I don't know, like, I was okay. Like, I'm able to tolerate other human I'm able to tolerate it and, you know, and partially enjoy it. Interesting. Which I hadn't felt that way about life in a really long time, in years, actually. So that made me really excited for the IV ketamine. In case you're curious, I have tried oral ketamine, like oral therapeutic ketamine, and it did not give me that effect. I think with oral ketamine, you just have to take it more. Like, I think, like, with IV ketamine, you do 6 sessions in 2 to 3 weeks, but with oral, I think you just have to do it, like, You just have to do it once or twice a week for like more weeks. Like I think like at least 8 weeks, in case you're curious. I'll do a video about the company I got the oral ketamine from later. But so session 1, I'm like, okay, that made me excited. That made me feel like if the experience is unpleasant like session 1 was, it's totally worth it. Like, it's totally worth it to just feel like a part of society again, and like not be resentful and not feel resentful about it. So then it was time for session 2. Session 2 was so enjoyable. It was awesome. There was no headache. It was way smoother. My body did feel heavy, but it was like gradual. It wasn't like boom. It was like gradual, and I was relaxed. I'm just chilling. And yeah, like, I was disoriented, but not as much as the first time. Like, the second time, I was like, ooh, it felt more like being drunk. So you know how like when you're drunk, you're like, woohoo, but also you still kind of feel like if I needed to have my wits about me, I could momentarily have my wits about me if I really needed to. That's how it felt, like that, but a little bit more severe. But you know, that's the closest thing I can compare it to. I really enjoyed that. And also I was able to have closed eye hallucination. So if you're not familiar with what that is, it's like, close your eyes right now, and when you close your eyes, what do you see? The answer isn't black, right? Like, maybe you see like the after image of something you were looking at, or if it's bright like it is now, you kind of see spots of color or something, right? It's never just entirely black. You kind of see stuff. So imagine, and I used to be able to do this too sometimes even now, like I close my eyes and it's more than just that. Like, I'm actually seeing some shapes and colors. So imagine that if have experienced that, you know what I mean? If you haven't experienced it, just whatever you see right now, imagine that times 40, okay? Like 30x it, 40x it. It's just still like imaginary type of thing, but it was just more fuller, more richer. There was more movement. It was really cool. What I saw in my mind's eye in session 2 when I closed it was like, imagine like sand art, and it's just flowing, and it has different colors and stuff like that. So it's like really relaxing to just look at in my mind. So it was a really enjoyable session 2. But the next day, I woke up and I didn't feel anything really special, except maybe a little bit more cranky. Like I was a little bit cranky yesterday. Then today, this is the second day out, I woke up with a headache and nausea. I'm like, this is the headache and nausea that I would kind of feel in session 1. This is not fun. I took an ibuprofen. I don't know how long it'll last today, but the other thing is I have more energy. So like, I'm really proud of myself because I never would have done this before. I drove all the way out to friggin' this African market because they sell ready-made African foods, and I still know how to friggin' cook my own African foods. But also, I'm addicted to Kung Pao chicken, and I wanted to, instead of like going to Panda Express every day, I wanted to learn how to make my own. So I actually went to flipping Walmart, got ingredients. I went to the Asian market, got my Sichuan peppers. Okay, I got my Sichuan peppers. I got freaking, I don't effing know what this is. Like, there's no English on here, but I just know this is what I need. I got, what else? Oh, yo, I love bean sprouts. I love bean sprouts. I got me some bean sprouts. I'm like, yes. And I got some dried chili pepper. So I'm like really proud of myself that I've been driving all over freaking town to get this stuff, and I never would have been able to do that before. Last night I cooked some food too, and I'm like, I have energy. I have energy to do things in life, you know, a little bit more than what I used to, because I never, even when I would take ADHD medicine, I haven't even taken my ADHD medicine today. So I'm just so excited for when I actually take my ADHD medicine, like how much more energy and productivity can I have. Another side effect I've experienced is it makes me so far it's been making me wake up early. I do not like that. I'm not a morning person, so I wake up early. I'm only like, okay, I only slept for 4 hours, only slept for 5 hours. This is not fun. I'm not as sleepy as I usually am when I don't get enough sleep, but also I'm cranky as hell. Like, I just want to go to bed. Somebody also recommended that you get massage done within 24 hours of your treatment. I don't remember the reasoning, like kind of like integrating it into your body or something. It's also good to do talk therapy, but I haven't done that yet. I need to make an appointment. But I did go get a massage. I did go to, it's not that friggin' serious, bruh. I did go to, like, you know, if you have like those local foot spas, typically Asian ran, I would go there and ask for like the foot body combo. They massage your feet, they massage your body, and I've been loving it. I mean, yeah, I can see why they would say get a massage, because your body is just so like, your body just feels more receptive to whatever you do to it. And also mentally, I'm just thinking more about myself and how I'm interacting with life a little bit more, thinking about it. Also interesting to note is before my second session, somebody really peed me off and they really hurt my feelings. And like while I was waiting for the K to hit, I was just like, I wonder if this will make me feel better. Like, I feel so sad. I feel so hurt and like emotionally violated, emotionally manipulated. I'm just so annoyed with this person. It's not my partner, by the way. This has nothing to do with my partner. And then the K started dripping. I completely forgot about it. The next day I had to text this person something, and I changed this person's name in my phone to Trisha Paid Us. I changed it when they made me mad. Like, one, kind of lightens my mood whenever I have to see a text from this person, and two, like as a reminder that, hey, reminder, you have to interact with this person, and this person behaves like Trisha Paid Us. Like, so like just remember that, you know. So then like Trisha Paid Us pops up on my thing, and I'm like, I'm like, oh, my Trisha Paid Us, and blah 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 blah. Here's the thing that you need. And I'm like, oh wow, I'm not even thinking about how they hurt my feelings. I'm not even thinking about how they really really upset me at all. So I'm like, this is cool. This could be like it's like a mental reset kind of. So far I've been really enjoying the ketamine treatment. I have 4 more sessions. And the thing is, you're not supposed to really feel the results during the 6 sessions. It's like a week after you've completely finished is when you're supposed to feel like the changes. So I'll keep you in the loop. If you want to know about the crazy, insane story about how I finally was able to get treatment, let me know in the comments. If you want to hear about the crazy clinic that they're literally insane. If you want to hear about that clinic, I don't mind blasting them so that any of you who are in DFW, you can know to avoid them. Let me know in the comments. If you want to know about oral ketamine, the company that I use for oral ketamine, and what was my experience on it, why did I decide to stop doing it, leave a comment. If you want to know about Spravato and my experience with that, leave a comment. Basically, if you want to know effing more about this, leave me a comment, because as you can see, just to describe session 1 and session 2 took half an hour. Okay, so I need to break this stuff into other videos, or like make an outline if I'm gonna say or something. So you have to subscribe for that, so you can, you know, stay updated. And if you hit the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button, then you'll be notified every time I upload, so you can, you know, stay on track with this progress. And also, if you're the kind of person that just loves to, like, if you want to tip, if you want to, I don't have a Patreon, but I do have a Ko-fi, ko-fi.com. You literally just buy me a coffee. It's like $3 one time. /UDOKA. And that's for the people who just love to help out that way, because I don't have a Patreon. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing if this is helping anybody, and answering questions. Until next time, much love, much luck. Peace out.